You ready?
I'm born ready. David, I'm sorry that I was late today.
It's okay.
I was on the phone with my kid's math teacher, and
Wait, we're not recording, right? You're just talking to me?
Oh, I thought we were.
we are recording, but like I definitely want to start with my story because it's like if
well,
that's
by all
okay.
means.
Yeah,
then you're by all means take control, Daddy.
And
this is Gaytriarchs.
So we know my daughter's a challenge, but this morning she woke up and she was like, come cuddle with me in bed. And so I was cuddling with her in bed and it was all very sweet. And today is Friday. When we're recording this is Friday and it's their show and tell and it's letter O. Right. So we're like, what could we do? I said, what could we do for letter O? What would it be? And she's laying there and she's thinking, and then she rolls her little body over to me and she says, Auschwitz.
I'm so sorry that your stupid daughter doesn't know how to spell Auschwitz, but
I said, I'm sorry, honey. I misheard you. What did you say? She said, Auschwitz. I said, honey, are you sure? What? She goes, Auschwitz, the big bird. I said, oh, ostrich. Ostrich is the word you meant. She goes, yes, that's what I said. I said, well, Your Honor, if you'll check the tape, you said Auschwitz, which was a very different show and tell. So that's how I woke up this morning.
Hey, talk about like the smell of napalm in the morning. Just a little bit of Holocaust here.
Oh my God.
That's really great. That's really great.
Yeah. How'd you wake up this morning?
I mean, with the doomed feeling that my kids would only be at school for about 15 minutes because it's a damn half day. Who invented half days?
Every day's a half day or a day off or a teacher holiday or
a pancake day or whatever.
Or pancake day or
those teachers.
Day.
They just never work hard enough, do they? Just always getting half
And they're
days.
paid too much. They're paid too much.
They are paid too much and they really do nothing for our children, for our society. Anyway, it's a half day. And that, of course, drives me pretty bonkers. But I was late here coming to our recording because I was on the phone with my son's math teacher because he for the very first time, I've never seen him actually work hard at studying anything. Most things come easy to him, like memorizing the amount of exhaust pipes on a car. It's a thing. He knows how many exhaust pipes are. He knows every single car on the highway. Yeah, he knows every single car on the highway from very far away, from a Nissan to a DeLorean. And he knows soccer, right? He knows sports. He gets it. Anyway, he finally studied really hard for a test the other day. Ended up getting a C. Now I'm like, okay, well, like, why'd you get a C? What happened, dude? And he's like, well, she gave us the wrong thing to study, and then she gave us a completely different test. And I'm like, speaking of, okay, Your Honor, I'm going to need to verify this. And so the teacher was just on the phone with me, and that's why I was late here. But she was able to say he just like rushed through it, and he's an A student, and he just kind of has C's on tests because he rushes through it, kind of thing. But I'm like, so that whole business about him studying the wrong thing, he's lying. He is lying. He's lying to me. He is lying.
Yeah.
He's a little liar. He wants to sugarcoat situation. He doesn't want to look like he's irresponsible, et cetera, et cetera. He's just lying, dude.
And he's bad at it, which is hilarious because do you remember when you were that age and you were like, I'm going to lie to my parents. They're not even going to know. Now we know what we look like when we lied. We look like a bunch of assholes.
But you know what? I gotta say, I got away with a lot as a kid. Yeah. And I do think it's because I'm an only child. So there wasn't anybody to throw me under the bus. Everything that I did, I got away with a lot of white lies. Lots.
And that's not just because you are white. It's because the lies were white. But wait, speaking of calls from your teacher, I'm not done with my daughter yet. I also got a call from my daughter's teacher.
It is only 11 o'clock. Not today.
No, the other day. Keep in mind, she's in pre-K 3. She's in the lowest level of lowest levels, right?
Lowest stakes.
Absolutely. I get like a serious hushed tone call, and I'm like, okay,
no.
like she's lost an arm. Like what they can't find her. Like what is like the big deal? And she said, well, I just wanted to let you know that, and again, I feel like she's telling me a cancer diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I just want to let you know that Hannah, she showed her butt to another student today. I said, I'm sorry, she what? Well, she pulled her pants down on the side and she showed another student her butt. And I just want to let you know that we've already called the other parents and we've had a conversation with them and we've written up it was like they were literally, it was insane.
It was like she had made a comment about the Holocaust. She had made an anti-Semitic comment in class.
Correct. So all these things are connected. But I actually know what happened. She has like a pimple on her butt that's become her entire personality. She's like, Daddy, my pimple. That's all she I can't sit. I can't do anything, right? So I know what she was doing. She was probably telling another kid, and the kid's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, look at my pimple. But it was so fun. It was like there was like political unrest in Uganda, and like it was crazy, and I was like, okay,
this needed a massive intervention,
but like hushed tones from a preschool
I get
teacher.
I get it.
I mean?
Yeah.
So your child is a liar, and my child is a sexual predator and a fan of the Holocaust, evidently. So,
oh, that's hilarious. So it is. Speaking of sort of all of those things that are both demonic and dark and funny.
I was wondering how you were going to connect this. And actually you did pretty good.
As if we haven't made it clear enough, do not forget that this Saturday, October 25th,
a Saturday from this Saturday.
Oh, I thought. Oops. Oh, great. You're going to edit that part out, right?
Oh, hell no. This is staying, and I want people to know.
I don't know what day it is.
Gave-in Lodge.
We are recording this April 11th, and how am I supposed to know what Saturday in October we're having this Halloween
It's Saturday,
party?
October 25th, because today is October 15th, as it says in the outline.
So from 4 to 6 p.m. at Sugar Mouse NYC, which is, a bar, a hangout place for children, young and old. You
actually said it in a really lovely way. You said it's kind of like a small Dave and Buster's. It's kind of got that vibe where it's like a bar, and they have some like bar food, but they also have tons of arcade games and video walls, and
and it's going to be awesome.
Also, I want to make sure that if you are going to go, please sign up on our Evite link. That's just so we know how many like goodie bags and stuff to prepare. I think we already have like 80 people signed up, which is so
awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So we really want to see you there. Again, Saturday, October 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Sugar Mouse NYC. And I'm so sorry to all of our listeners who do not live in New York City. You're already mad at us. I know you are. I can hear you from Jersey, the country, being mad that we are not doing something there. We will someday. I will probably be living in a different country, so we can start doing stuff there.
And it'll be fun, even at some point, bring us out to places like Chicago, as long as you don't have, civil unrest and military occupation. But anyway, it's not this Saturday; it's next Saturday, unless you're listening to this podcast the week of October 25th, 24th, 23rd, 22nd, 24th, 19th.
Jesus.
Anyway, speaking of absolutely nothing, there is no good news in the world, right? Zero.
Never.
But guess what? Because we are America's finest news source, I do my best to seek out the good news out there.
Okay.
There is a TikTok / Instagram influencer / frankly journalist who is a fantastic trans woman known as Erin in the Morning. And she usually brings a lot of bad news, just a lot of bad news. But she brought some good news the other day. And she actually said, this gives me hope. Remember a year ago, there was a Supreme Court decision that allowed a Maryland school district to let parents opt out of all books that are queer related. Remember that story? And unfortunately it passed, and giving everybody the ability to frankly opt out of pretty much anything they want. And a lot of doomsdayers were like, oh, but this is going to be such chaos because, what if liberal parents want to opt out of parents books that are too, say, heteronormative, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the fact is the law was passed. The ruling was passed down. And in a school district of about 650,000 people this year, guess how many parents opted out of any queer-related books for their children? 43. Point being, 0.03%. This is glass half full. 0.03% of the parents give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
And they're like, teachers, read what you're going to do and expand my children's entire brains and capacity for understanding the human condition. And only 0.03% opted out. Now, those idiots obviously can just go fuck themselves. But this gives us hope that ultimately, it's the loudest, it's the smallest contingent that scream the loudest. And ultimately the rest of us are like, we're just trying to do our best to get by in the world. So and
we need these teachers to spend their time helping Gavin's kid not be a liar. Yeah. Is really what we need them to be focusing their time on. Also, I mean, this is always the thing. It's like the less than 1% is the trans women in sports. There's like 3 of them. So everyone fucking relax.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody just calm the hell down. Also, you know what? It's time to celebrate a DILF of the week.
I love a DILF.
Do you know the name and do you know who he is? David Harbour.
I'm literally Googling it right now because
he's
I don't
the guy.
Know. Oh yeah. Oh yes. My God.
I know.
Why have we not had him as our DILF of the week recently?
Well, you know what? We need to grow into people once in a while. Now David Harbour is not technically gay. I mean,
no, he's married to a woman.
Yeah, but who knows what his proclivities are? But he has declared himself part of the Daddyverse, according to Out magazine. Meaning
he's just trying to jump onto like Pedro Pascal's wagon.
That's
like
100%.
Pedro is as straight as they come, even though he plays. But you know what I mean? Like David is like, maybe I could pretend to be queer. Yeah,
fine. That's fine. Everybody can just. Aspiring to be Pedro Pascal is a really, really good thing. So David Harbour is definitely a DILF of the week. He is married to a woman.
Those of you out there who don't know who he is the cop from Stranger Things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And he's also, he did a really great Santa Claus movie last year. I mean,
yes, I saw that.
Super violent, but hilariously campy.
Yeah.
It was and he was sexy in it. He had to take off his Santa suit.
So fucking sexy.
Yeah.
And sexy. He has had a variety of body shapes and all of them work for me. Every single, and I have a ranking list. Maybe this can be our top 3, but David Harbour bodies. But he is, yes. Gavin, this is the best DILF of the week you've ever had.
I'm going to send to you the article that I referenced for this, actually.
And he's 50, just like you. And he went to Dartmouth.
I mean, no idiot. That's
He's smart, hot, and old.
There's a picture. You know what? I'm going to send this offline, and I'll probably repost it and get us sued, and that would be great because we could use the attention of the picture of him in a skirt leaning back on a couch in Out magazine. And that's the article that said he's part of the Daddyverse and he's happy to be there. Also, he is a dad. He's not a biological dad, but he has 2 stepchildren with his wife. And that just kind of makes me say, oh, good for you even more, right? So DILF of the week, David Harbour. You know what's not quite as hot as our DILF of the week? Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
I was going to do what doesn't make you say aw or something like that. But anyway, what is our top 3 list this week, David?
It is the top 3 fall candle scents. So this one was my topic this week. And part of this is, I suppose, just maybe it's product placement. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I have cheap but expensive smelling candles from something called Maison Louis Marie. And believe me, they were not expensive. These are not Henry Bendel. Is that what his name is? Henry Bendel? But they...
I don't know. You're talking to a White Barn girly. I'm the cheapest of cheap.
Oh, you're gonna...
I'll buy a Walmart candle in a heart.
Okay. So, but these are affordable. These aren't $100 candles, right? They smell like $100 candles. So anyway, Maison Louis Marie, trust me, as pretentious as this is going to sound, they are fantastic. Number 3 for me is the Bois...
Oh my God! Already, you've set yourself up for failure, Gavin. You're trying to be a man of the people and talk about how these aren't expensive. You're speaking in French, Gavin.
Woods of Ballancourt. We're just going to leave it at that. Woods of Ballancourt. Trust me, Maison Louis Marie. It is cheap, but smells expensive.
Oh my God, Gavin. Just a man of the people.
Okay, but another candle is actually just leather, and I'm like, okay, of Maison Louis Marie, and it does smell leathery. That is my number 2 favorite, and it is so
Gavin is into leather. That is the title of this
And I'm into
episode.
leather. Yeah, I'm definitely into leather. And number one for me, this ended up being a last minute entry, but I think it very much is appropriate. Have you ever heard of That Gay Guy Candle Company?
No.
His logo is just a limp wrist hand.
Love that.
And it's
lean into it. Love it. Mm-hmm.
That Gay Guy Candle Company. And this candle is called Fuck SCOTUS.
Yes.
Now, does it smell like fucking SCOTUS? I don't know, but it's a great year-round scent. And so I encourage everybody to check out That Gay Guy Candle Company, because everything that he makes has a political bent on it, and I love it when it has a political bent. There you go,
just like Peyronie's disease. Okay, so these answers to this top 3 list this week, as always, very much speak to our personalities. Yours is about unaffordable French fucking candles, and mine is the most basic answers.
Yes.
But I wanted to be honest. I wanted to be like, what do I want my house to smell like? So number 3, you may argue this is not seasonally appropriate, but I like it. Spruce or pine.
Okay.
That kind of general vibe. I know it's more of a Christmassy smell, but I want to get the ball rolling. As soon as I got to turn the heat on in the car, I want that spruce up in my business. Number 2, continuing on with the basic bitch, chai tea. Chai tea, as we know, is mostly cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, stuff like that. But all of those guys together in a candle, oof. I mean, it's basically you're smelling cinnamon, but like, chai tea. And number 1, the most basic bitch answer, and I'm sorry, but I have to be honest, it's my favorite smell of all time, fallen leaves.
It's like
you
have
cinnamon
a candle
and like it's a scent on every major candles like rep or whatever. But fallen leaves, it's basically kind of like the cinnamony smells mixed with some like woodsier kind of smells. It makes my tits percolate a little bit. And that's my top 3 list. Okay, next week.
What's next
week? We are circling the drain of Halloween and October. Spooky season. So in honor of our guest, who will be coming up in 15 seconds, which we're very excited about, I want to know, what are your top 3 Halloween themed drag names?
ChatGPT, help me out.
Okay, Gavin, this week we get 2 guests for the price of 1.
Yes.
And this BOGO spans the 2 farthest ends of the queer spectrum. We have the nightlife of Los Angeles, California, and the antiquing of the Hudson River Valley. Their new book, Jackson Bright in the Spotlight, follows a boy who enters his local Little Miss pageant as a drag queen and shows his town just how fabulous he can be.
Yes.
And no, this is not Gavin's life story, because it's not a sad tale of a midlife crisis and a receding hairline. It is, in fact, a new middle grade novel set to debut next week. So please welcome to the show authors of the book and our newest honorary Gaytriarchs, Dan Poblocki and Eureka O'Hara.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Wait, did I say that right, Dan? I didn't even check to see what your last name was.
Yeah, you
pronounced.
said you were going to, but...
Yeah, pretty much.
Poblocki.
Yeah, Dan Poblocki.
Okay.
You nailed it.
Just kind of rolls off the tongue.
I have called you Dan Poblocki since I met you, Dan.
Wow.
Girl, I know, but it's cute because it's... I wouldn't have you say it any other way, Eureka, at this point. Please.
He's like,
Don't
at
change.
this point, that's my name. Yeah.
I love that, like, we're like airing tea already out. Like this like working relationship. You guys,
but
can
this
I talk to you a little bit? Yeah.
This is just chamomile. I can't wait to get to the hard stuff. So
I see tea. Okay. I see the joke, Gavin. That was really lovely.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Come through, Dad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gavin loves a dad joke. Okay, so Eureka, obviously I know you from RuPaul's Drag Race. We're here. You're somewhat of a household name in our household, at least. But I don't know you to be a writer. So is this something new for you?
Yeah, this will definitely be my debut novel. But, I'm just a creative person. I did a lot of script writing in college. I've written some creative production type stuff. But this will definitely be my first book. I just remember, when I was younger, though, I always wanted to write, books that I wanted to read. So, and luckily I got, this incredible man, Dan, who is a writer, who definitely helped make this a home run. It's been a blessing first experience as far as, debut novels go. It couldn't have been any better for me so far.
It's so true.
That's
we
awesome.
say this on the show a lot. Like the best art always comes out of you wanting to see that thing exist in the world, whatever that is. Yeah. And Dan, what about you? You've been a writer for a really long time, right?
Yeah. Almost 20 years as a professional, and just always loved telling stories ever since I was a little kid. Getting in trouble for it. I remember the thing that I share with the kids that I speak to at school visits is that I had a storytelling club when I was a little kid, and my friends and I would meet in our backyards and basements after school, and I would try and come up with scary stories, because that's generally like what I'm known for.
You're a spooky bitch. I get it.
Yeah, spooky bitch, spooky bear, and and. Yeah, this went on for a while until my mom started getting phone calls from my parents that I was giving them all nightmares.
Wow. But how wholesome that you brought together kids in a club after school to tell stories.
That's adorable.
Except that
that's my brand.
Yeah, I'm always the one who takes all of the brunt of the ageist jokes here, but I want to be like, so what was it like to grow up in 1877 when you had nothing else to do but tell stories in your backyard?
It's true.
But the math ain't mathin', because Dan said he's been a professional writer for 20 years, and he's not 20 years old. So how is that possible?
Well, I will tell you. I will share. I'm 48.
Lean in.
Oh.
Lean in.
Baby. Great.
Looking good.
Still not the oldest person on this call, right, Gabe?
Yeah, thanks for that.
I don't believe it.
But it is that's fantastic that you were able to indulge in that, and I'm glad it didn't end up in going too far south, but you just, instead of telling spooky stories to your friends, do you start writing them down and freaking out your teachers?
Yeah, mostly myself. And then, Jackson Bright is not a scary book by any means.
Thank you. Good transition.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember the first novel I actually tried to make was like a retelling of Cinderella set in a high school with queer kids. So I sort of entered into this whole sphere as somebody who had more interest than just, telling ghost stories and scary stories. And I've always kind of wanted to lean into making queer books for kids. So I'm so happy that Eureka and I were able to do this.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this is awesome. Also, I love that, like, the people are going to be like, oh, you're trying to make our kids trans now. You're like, yeah, this is what we're doing. We're making you trans by our book. Yeah. This is exactly how we're going to do it. But this is, like you said, Eureka, like having a book like this for kids maybe like you, or kids who would want to do drag at this age, to see themselves in this book, which is, I have not read the book yet, but I assume is a lighthearted take on this and a joyful take on this, would be really nice to see. I have a son who is 6, who there's some sugar in his tank. I don't know where that sugar is going to come out, but I'm already thinking about this book as a great thing, because he likes to see that stuff. Whenever he sees a boy wearing a dress or something, he gets very excited. He's like, boys are allowed to wear dresses? I'm like, yeah. And even in a queer household, I have to remind him of that, because the world is very much saying, no, that's not what happens.
Well, the best part about Jackson Bright is that there's so many like subsidiary stories, I feel like, within this book. Like, it's really about a friendship, and it's about Jackson really standing up for their friend, but also, like, there is a sense of gender expression. There's a little piece of gender identity in there. Of course, there's some drag, but it's really not based a whole lot on, like, it just being about, like, this kid figuring out that they're queer, or them figuring out that they want to dress in women's clothing. It's really about, like, family and friendship and relationships. And also, it's kind of about, like, needing support and people around you to kind of put yourself out there as well, which is something that's really hard for queer people to do growing up, especially on their own. And I think that, like, obviously we learn as we grow up that our chosen family and our friends and being authentically ourselves is the most important thing. And I think ultimately that's what Jackson learns. And that, of course, does include drag. It does include, like, his non-binary best friend, and it includes like some family dynamics and some fabulous drag queens. So there's just like so much character to it that so every time I get to read it or talk about it, I re-fall in love with the premise, to be honest. I wish I had it when I was growing up, was all.
Me too.
That representation is so important. I'm curious, how many times in the process of writing it did you turn to each other and say, do you think it will get banned? And then thought, I hope we get banned.
Hopefully.
I think a couple times, I mean, even with, and with the editor too, there was like concerns here and there, especially around like the pageantry aspect. Like we were very careful about, expressing how positive pageantry is versus like just relying on the negative aspects of it, how important it was not to take away these female experiences as well in the book. As well as like the queerness. I was honestly really nervous because our illustrator has like some risque drawings on his Instagram, and I was fully like, I don't know, you guys. And the publishers were like, no, it'll be fine. Because of course I worry about stuff like that. Being born and raised in Tennessee, like I know how quick people can turn on you when it comes to like. So I don't know. Everyone else is like, yay, maybe we'll get banned. It'll be a spectacle. And then I'm over here like, no, I want people to love it and read it. My baby.
Yeah. From what I understand from the publisher's point of view, it's a real pain in the ass when these books are challenged. Mm-hmm. So I hope that it can reach as many kids as possible. Yes. And if it gets banned, that's not likely.
Yeah. Obviously, I was in jest about that. I mean, hey, if you can get the hand into as many hands as possible, I mean, the whole point is that we want people to see themselves and see how others are and sell as many books and read them as much as possible, for sure.
Yeah, but it is like you said, Dan, and Eureka, having this book as a kid out there would have been really, really lovely. And I get the impetus to be like, we want to be careful so we can get it out there, but also we can't. Dan, I'm a fellow writer. I don't write novels. I couldn't ever do that. But like, you can't write from a place of fear. You can only write from a place of joy and love and excitement. And when you write from a place of fear, it's like I'm trying to write towards a trend. It's like we all see those TikToks that are 3 weeks too late, and we're like, girl, stop it. That shit is over. But so I'm glad that you are pushing that a little bit, because we need that. Like, there are kids who need this exact book. And speaking of books, Dan, I want to ask you, because you mentioned this to me on our pre-interview, and I got so excited because I have a 6-year-old. You have another book, a let's say Halloween themed book called My Brother's Butt is Haunted.
Was that inspired by David's Grindr handle by chance? Could be. Because
I can't tell you how many jokes I've heard about that already, but
but like you are speaking, at least with having a 6-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl, you are speaking right to the heart of what they think the highest level of comedy is.
Yeah, tell us what a
butts and farts.
Butt is like.
Yep. Yeah, what's a haunted butt like?
Well, it's funny. I was just at the Chappaqua Book Festival last weekend talking with a bunch of kids and their parents. And, when you're at a table and people are walking by, seeing this cover and this title, a lot of sort of double takes, a lot of like instant smiles, and then some like kind of like side eyes, like, what? No, I can't. But to each his own, just like with Jackson Bright, like I think, some people are going to get it and some people aren't going to get it. And I wrote it to make myself laugh. Yeah. And my sister sort of swung by the table, and she was telling everybody that it's based on a true story. So
nice.
That is really funny. That is
autobiographical
really funny.
Or just biographical?
I love a dark comedy sister. So my sister-in-law, who is our listener to this podcast, carried our first child. She was our surrogate, and she's an amazing person. And but she has a dark sense of humor like me. So when she was out and about and she was showing, people would be like, "Oh, you're pregnant, you have a baby," and she was like, "No, that's my brother's."
I'm pregnant with my brother's baby.
That's I got pregnant by my brother's, but come on, that is the kind of face that I want to record that recording, right? But talking
very
about
East Tennessee, I come from very that.
Listen, East Tennessee, rural Florida, we get each other.
Literal T.
We actually get each other. But wait,
that is hilarious.
Eureka, I want to talk a little bit about authenticity in general with you, because I think, and I'm just an armchair quarterback, part of why you are such a popular person and why you have kind of risen to the top of the hundreds of queens who have been on RuPaul's Drag Race is that there is something earnestly authentic about you, not put on authentic. And that could be body positivity or just drag in general or transition, whatever the things that you have kind of been famous for. But I really think that you have this really beautifully authentic vibe to you, even when you're as over the top as you possibly could be. And my question is, first of all, that was a little sugar on top to get your medicine.
Thank you.
But then to lure you in,
to lure you in. Okay. But why are you such a fucking bitch? No, just kidding. But I loved We're Here partly because of that. I'm curious as to what your experience was creating that show.
Oh my gosh, my experience. Well, you grew up in Florida. We did a Florida episode. You know exactly what my experience was like. It was nerve-wracking, but honestly, it was such a blessing. I grew up in a small town too, so that's kind of what we were exploring was the areas that aren't really spotlighted very often when it comes to queer communities. So yeah, I think it felt like I was back, growing up. Sometimes I felt like a small child, but I was able to use what I learned through my own experiences. I think that's why I was able to relate with a lot of the people we worked with. It was my favorite job I've had so far besides writing Jackson Bright.
Obviously.
Good recovery there.
But yeah, no, it was amazing. I think that's the authentic thing. I think it just comes from growing up and so many years pretending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we all can relate in some way as queer individuals that we have to play a part, especially in those smaller towns. So that was what was exciting about doing something like We're Here, or even the story of Jackson Bright is finding that authenticity within ourselves to be able to also be the example for other people, which is actually what Eva, Jackson's best friend, kind of gives the story plot, I think, which is to me, one of my favorite parts of the book is he originally wears the dress to kind of support them, but also to express themselves. But ultimately, Eva's strength gives him the strength. So I don't know. I just, and that's what I got from Bob and Shangela being in those small towns and We're Here. Plus we had 25, heteronormative men that had our backs with giant cameras and big guns. So I felt safe.
Because as a viewer, I would feel nervous when I'd see you sclomping down a dirt fucking road. And I was like, these motherfuckers are going to get murdered. But you know what? I think the surprise for me was what I think we all expect with watching a show like that is these conservative kind of straight people will see something new with drag and kind of change their mind. What I thought was the most beautiful takeaway was often these small towns, the queer people inside of them being thank you for coming here. Because we don't get this. This is not something we get to have. And it was almost like a show for them too, which I thought was a really kind of fun bonus. Because I walked into it going, okay, we're going to see some straight people put on drag. They're going to be oh, okay, I guess it's not that big a deal.
Right.
End of list,
It was really creating a little safety bubble for these people. That was really the most beautiful part of doing it. I still talk to so many of the drag children and people that we worked with. I mean, they love blowing me up because I respond to text messages. Not that I'm nothing against my other sisters, but I'm more motherly maybe. So I'm very... so I feel like they're all my children at the end of the day. I'm very big Mama T, so I loved it.
Wait, so speaking of big Mama T, on Gaytriarchs, we talk a lot about how there are a million different ways of making a family. And frankly, in 2025, it is the family you choose so very frequently. And as long as you have, love and warmth and support, etc., that's the family. So in fact, our very first guest was Craig Ramsey, who had basically, they took their, sorry, David, can you remind me, he had his sister's kids or his sister-in-law's kids or?
His sisters. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
his sister. And, it was a family affair of taking over, which is somewhat like you, right? Your mom took in your sister's kids and you helped raise them. You are talk about Big Mama T, but what was it like parenting from that experience?
It's so funny because like a couple weeks ago, I went back home to Tennessee to visit with my family. And, now my nieces and nephews are full grown adults. Uh-huh. They're like 18, 19 and 20, like in college, or my nephew has like a full-time, like 9-hour-a-day job, 6 days a week, like full beard, vape in his hand. And I'm just like, what happened? You used to be this little tiny man. But I'll never forget when I was 15 years old, he moved in with us. He was 2 years old. My older sister had went to prison. I have a very colorful family. Mm-hmm. And my mother, she was like the big mama that I learned how to be the big mama from. She took in those kids. And ultimately she had to work. And so I had to help take care of them. Then my mother got sick and passed away. So me and my twin sister ended up taking care of them while my older sister was in prison. So it was amazing. There's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I used to be anti-dog people. You know what I mean? And then you get a dog and you're like, I'm obsessed and I can't imagine my life without this dog. And it's the same thing. It's like, I never thought that I could love something so much and not even like, and it's not, it's my blood relative, but it's like, it's not my child, but at the end of the day, I would put my life on the line as if it was. And it's so sweet because like they've seen me go through all these transitional phases in my life too, literally transitioning.
Literally.
And yeah, quite literally. And it's just so cool because the new generation just gets it differently. My niece is, I think, kind of pan, she identifies as. My nephew is a country man.
Country
he is
with a K, yeah.
Girl, country with the K and some R's in there somehow.
Is that an umlaut? Why is that in there? Yeah.
I don't know, but he is just such a gentleman to me, and he's so respectful. And it's just, oh my God, it just gives me my whole life. They're actually, my niece is a reader, so she's already like begging me to send her just the transcript of the book. So she'll definitely be reading it. I don't know if I'll get him to. Maybe I can get him to listen to the audiobook. I don't know yet.
On, right.
It's so funny. Like, first of all, I want the title of this episode to be like Eureka O'Hara calls children just like dogs. But also, but no joke. I tell people who are about to have their first kid, I'm like, it's like having a puppy because they're up all night. They don't know how to pee by themselves. You are so exhausted more than you could possibly imagine. Everything is new. Your house is a fucking disaster. You're so like it is actually the same thing.
It's training wheels. Yeah,
exactly. So dogs are kids. Great. Dan, question.
In the queer community they are.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
Dan,
my dog is my baby. Don't try it. Okay.
Wait, please don't tell me you have like a fucking stroller for the dog.
Oh my God, leave me alone. Go back to asking Dan a question.
Are you fucking kidding me? All right, you're out. You're not a gay shark anymore. Wait, Dan, I have a writery question. Now that you've kind of written quite a few books in this like youth area and with a lot of queer characters, do you find yourself professionally getting sort of narrowed in a little bit? And is that something you're happy with because this is where you want to stay? Or do you want to write things that aren't in this at all?
It's funny. I'm working on something right now that is for so this middle grade age range is where I've sort of found a sweet spot. And right now I'm working on something for teenagers, like I would say maybe 14 and up. Mm-hmm. And it's horror and it's queer characters doing, filling this space that I feel like is horror is queer in so many ways.
Yeah.
And
there's got to be a campy factor in
absolutely.
In so
a lot
ways.
Of crying, a lot of shirtlessness, a lot of murder.
Yes.
It's all the same.
Running,
yes.
Running from people. Like that's what I do. I tend to run away from people all the time.
Yeah, emotionally running away from people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But I am trying to, like just like how I just put out this book for little kids, I'm trying to like branch out and become more of a, not that people writing for middle grade aren't grown up, but I want to be more of a grown up. I want to be seen as more of a grown up, because there's something about being in the publishing industry as a children's book author that, and especially as a queer person, that I feel like we self-censor a little bit. There's, and I don't want to do that. Like, and I do. I found myself from the very beginning, social media wise, I can't post this. Thirst trap. I can't, because what will librarians say?
You can DM us all the thirst traps, please.
All you want.
We would love them. Yes.
All you want.
But I see like a lot of other guys on like Instagram or like, hotties anywhere, and they have like thousands of followers, and I'm like, I'm as cute as them.
You just need your Finsta. You need multiple Finstas all over the place. You get the beauty of being able to have doppelgangers all over the place, all over the socials. I mean, I think you could turn this into something very positive.
This is what go ahead.
You get to have your YA section Instagram, your children's section, and your adult Insta.
I mean, we had, I forget his name. We had an author on about 15 episodes ago who wrote a kind of a queer series, but he had 2 Instagrams. He had like kind of his private, like thoughty one or whatever. But, this is the like kind of nuanced conversation that I think is interesting to me, which is like this authentic thing that we're all striving to do and we are attracted to, with the balance of a professional a world where it's not always rewarded to be authentically you all the time. Right? Yeah. I mean, it's true. Like we kind of like, we want to be totally ourselves all the time, but like we do have to scoot in the edges sometimes. And that personally frustrates the hell out of me. Like I have fallen into this like preschool television world, which I did not expect. And I feel the same way. We're like, no. I'm really dirty and gross. I want to write for the modern day sitcoms. And they're like, yeah, but maybe you should come over here. And I have to kind of like, I don't want to like push in the edges, but sometimes I do because I want to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I randomly relate, and this is crazy because as a drag queen, I feel like I have the privilege to kind of get away with a little bit more, to push the boundaries. But even myself, like especially after being on HBO, like I immediately started I actually was taught doing that more mainstream experience past just doing drag exclusively, because I had such a responsibility for like the kids and what we were doing and what we're representing. It taught me so much about kind of censoring myself a bit to where, now it's like, I want to be, a part of me is always going to be that like hateful, divine loving drag queen that wants to just like curse everyone out and talk, the most smack as possible. But at the end of the day, like we're releasing a mid-grade book, right. And I'm already, there's already some I'm sure there will be controversy, or there has been, coming from Tennessee specifically around drag. I have experience in that. So it's like, but sometimes we just gotta.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I think those are both authentic parts of you. I just think that's what I'm learning, is that like that middle grade version of you, which is a little more sanitized or whatever, it's not that that's not you. It's just a more narrow part of you versus, like you said, the divine, version of you is also authentic to you, which is a good transition into, aren't you doing something? I keep using the word transition. I swear that's not the read for you.
It's a full on
read. I'm like transitioning to Eureka. So aren't you doing a Eureka? I mean, a divine project right now?
I love that I was able to accidentally segue into you asking me about this. That's so incredible.
Segue.
Yeah.
Perfect transition, some would say, Eureka.
Very transitional moments that we have in this. I'm actually working on a play called Dishing with Divine. I'm doing a script read in LA on the 20th of October. It's actually Divine's birthday on the 19th. She turns 80, or would have, this year. So the 19th, I'm doing a stage read of the play in Palm Springs for her birthday.
Wow.
And then we're doing another one the night after on the 20th at the Renberg Theater in LA. And the goal is we're working on getting this off Broadway next year, which is really exciting. My dream, honestly, past like writing and drag and acting and all these things is I want to win the Oscar, and I keep telling myself it's going to be for playing Divine in the biopic. So that's my life goal. So
how do you do this Divine? Like my only experience with Divine is watching. Is it Flamingo?
Pink Flamingos,
and just being horrified by what I saw. And I've obviously learned a lot about her, but like how could you possibly do that and then turn around and be like, so children reading literature? Like that is a hard turn to do.
A hard transition.
It is. Yeah. But I think that's what's sorry, real quick, because I am obsessed with the story of Glenn Milstead, which is Divine outside of drag, and the desire that Glenn had to be an artist and taken seriously as an actor. And it's so relatable in a time period where, obviously what he was doing was so ostracized and it was so over the top and insane, but it was also a way for him to kind of let go of a lot of the bullying and hardships that he went through, as well as like there was such a it was cut so short, his life was. And it's a beautiful romantic story, but it's also dramatic and queer and it's intimate and so special. So that's the story I want to tell, more than just like the John Waters muse of Divine. It's also about like the human behind it and like where that drag queen became an outlet for this human being to be able to be accepted and express and like belong in a industry, and find a place whenever there wasn't a place for anyone like that. It's really the ultimate story I love about it.
Oh my God.
That's a huge project, and how very exciting.
Like,
congratulations.
I'm selling it to everyone, as you can tell. I'm ready, honey. Get me in the room.
You manifest that shit.
I can't wait, Eureka. Come to New York, and I would be there in the front row.
Yes,
that's the goal. So, and you definitely will, Dan, because I will pull you out and make you if I have to.
Dan, call me. I want to come with you. I want to see it. Like I will be front row with you. Right. I think the challenge, doing something like that is being able to keep the audience beyond the shit eating, like all the big flashy stuff. Like, how do you not let that overshine the story you're trying to tell about Glenn and everything? That is a big challenge. Okay, so
it's a big order, I know.
Yeah, that's a big order. So
they said doing a queer book about a young kid entering a drag queen pageant was a big order too, but it's been done.
And look, it's been done.
We did it.
It's done.
We did it.
And so now that you've done it, obviously they'll think the book comes out next week. But once this book comes out and it's a huge New York Times bestseller, is there something in the future? Is there more in this team that's been created, this dream team?
That's the hope and prayer, and from your mouth to God's ears. I would follow Dan into the pits of godforsaken hell if I had to, because he's just the best to work with.
Early on, Eureka, I mean, I was pitching you sequel idea to this book, and I do think it would, like, I have a really fun idea, and I think we could definitely keep going with Jackson. But I know you have I don't know if you have anything else announced, but you have other books coming, right?
Yeah, I have another book. It's a mystery called Clover and the Carousel Hotel. So it's a different kind of book, which is exciting. But so I definitely have that coming next year. But as far as Jackson Bright goes, because that's what we're here to talk about. Also, I've been talking with my agents about, because me and Dennis, like, we see this also as a film. You know what I mean? We could see this being a series or a film. So we have high hopes for this story.
I want it to be a musical.
I mean, well, yes, a musical.
It needs to be a musical.
Well,
a musical.
You're combining like, it's like almost like a Billy Elliot meets like a Kinky Boots or something like that, where like, that would be really fun. That could be really fun.
That's a perfect elevator pitch.
Yeah, there's been a lot of drag on Broadway, especially about 10 years ago, but we've had a minute to where now I think it could feel exciting and edgy again.
Well, and that's the best thing about it, is there is drag in it, but it's not just about drag. There's so much. I can't wait till you get to read it and experience the stories in the book. It's a really special story. And Jackson's such a shining light,
Yeah, we look forward to that too. Well, I am so curious also. Can you just tell us one of your happy moments from your Drag Race time?
Or when everything fell apart, because we love a shit story.
Oh,
that was what I was really hoping that David would modify that for me. So thank you, David.
Okay, so
transition for me.
Yeah.
You got to have a good transitional story about Drag Race. And, it always starts with like you coming into the workroom happy. You tell your like family honoring sad story, and then you win the mini challenge. Then you win the max challenge. Then you you get your repeater badge is what they call it.
So there's a formula. There's a formula. Template you can follow.
Yeah.
Yes. I would say, obviously, like, my most traumatizing experience was getting hurt on season 9, but the most fabulous experience was coming back on season 10. I don't know. But to be honest, I'm just going to say this. Since we're talking about family and stuff, the season 10 finale, my mother was sick, but she was able to come to the finale filming. And I'll never forget, literally to this moment in my life, the most amazing, beautiful experience moment, successful, iconic, whatever, was after the lip sync, the crowd was chanting my name, and my mom's name is Eureka as well. So she was sitting there, and she got to hear this entire auditorium chanting her name before she passed away, and she got to see me in that moment. That was my favorite moment of life so far, so... And probably will never get topped, to be honest.
Yeah, well, and it shouldn't be. It's in its own special category. But what a proud moment for your mom to see her baby Eureka just really shine. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.
And to be messy, before she passed away, she wouldn't let me take her name legally, like as my living self, because it was hers. And as soon as she passed away, I changed my name to Eureka.
She said, bitch, what are you going to do? Is what you said.
You don't need it now, girl. So. R.I.P. Eureka, love you, mama.
I mean, that is actually, it's funny, but it's also incredibly sweet, because I imagine me as a dad, as a relatively newish dad, like the amount of joy I can imagine she ingested for you. Yeah. She is just, it's just coming right to her is probably the best moment of her life too,
Oh, honey, she wasn't the most mobile person, but for some reason that day she was on the pink carpet. She had her Chanel scarf on. She was getting photos. She got to live her superstar fantasy too. So that was incredible.
Having an entire audience chant her name. Yeah. That nails it. That nails it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Dan, Eureka, thank you all for demeaning yourself by being on our stupid little podcast. Please tell everybody, where can they buy this book?
Oh, everywhere. It'll be in all your favorite local bookshops.
Love those.
I'm sure it'll be online.
Awesome.
It'll be in the big chain stores. It'll be in your libraries, I hope.
And do you also have your own website where we can also follow the progress of the book as well?
Amazon.com.
Okay.
You're like GeoCities.
Dan did such a great job of avoiding just sheer capitalism there, and Eureka, you brought it in with an exclamation point. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Transitioned it.
Yes, bitch. Transitioned it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, y'all.
So my something great this week is about me and my ego. And not helpful to the listener, but it has been so fun this week watching passersby in front of my house clock my Halloween setup, and I hear them through the window go, "Oh my God, that's so crazy!" I see them taking pictures.
Nice.
I see them we went to our kids' school, and the principal was like, "I walked by your house and I FaceTimed my friend because she loves this kind of stuff, and I showed her your yard." And I was like, "This is filling me with such fucking joy this week." So my something great this week is people liking my Halloween display. What about you?
So my something great this week is an Instagram handle that was shared by a friend of mine, and it's called @HotDudesReading. Are you aware of Hot Dudes Reading?
Very aware. I have known about them for but
you
some
know
people,
everything.
our listener out there might not know it. Please tell us what it is, because it's great.
It is pictures of hot dudes reading in cafes. Lots of international folks.
Subways,
you can tell half of these people are French. But then what is hilarious is the women and presumably men who write the captions about these people. For instance, On this fine day in January, let's remember that not only is hope around the corner, but so is summer. In celebration, here's a level 10 smoke show. I'm about to pull that fire alarm behind him and drag him to the security line so I can play TSA agent and give him a full pat down. And in behind him, there's a sign that says emergency exit only. While he's reading, his biceps are flexed, and he's reading a book with coffee. The captions are genius. The pictures are hot. It's hilarious at Hot Dudes Reading. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Middle Age Crying in the Bath.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we will read with hot dudes with you next time on another episode of Shut Up, Gaytriarchs.